So, why do 95% of authors lose money promoting their books? Well, let's just look at the question itself. Is that accurate? Yes, it's pretty accurate. How do I know? Well, I've been promoting and publishing books for over 15 years for over 2,500 clients, a really good sampling of self published authors. And I can tell you with confidence that's a pretty accurate statistic. Pretty scary one, too. 95% of authors lose money. That means you have a 1 in 20 chance as a self published author of making money. Well, before you get too nervous, let me just say that your chances are better than that because you're listening to this video. Most authors don't do a thing about their books. They don't care about promotion. They don't care enough to watch a video, to learn a little bit about promotion, to learn from somebody who knows something about promotion. So that's why they're on the bottom 19 out of 20. You're not. So you're already at an advantage. But your chances still statistically are not that good. So, what can you do about it? Well, hello, my name is Bo Bennett. I have a PhD in social psychology and an undergrad in marketing. For the past 15 years or so, I've been helping thousands of authors publish and market their books. And I could do the same for you through our company, BookMarketing.pro. Well, here are some reasons why most authors, 95%, lose money. One is a bad cover. Most covers are pretty rotten. Do your best to get a good cover. And there are so many ways you could do a great cover for very cheap. Number one is AI. AI does an amazing job these days with covers. As long as you're doing an ebook cover, if you're doing a print book cover, that's a little bit different because it requires very exact specifications. It requires high quality images, and AI isn't quite up to that task yet. So if you're just doing an ebook cover, AI is perfect. If you want to have a little bit more flexibility, you're not happy with AI, you want something more custom where you could talk to an artist, well, there are people on Fiverr that do a pretty good job. You can look at their portfolio. And then, of course, there are services like ours at BookMarketing.pro. We have professional graphic design services where we have human beings doing all the work. That tends to be a little bit more expensive, but if you want a really good job, a really good cover, then that's the way to go. All right, so cover, make sure you have a good cover. Most authors have a pretty bad description. And by description, I mean book description. And by book description, I mean the thing that shows up on Amazon or Barnes and Noble or Kobo or wherever you buy your book. It's pretty bland. There's a misconception that your book description is really just a summary of your book. No, that's not the case. You don't want your book summarized. If you summarize the book for somebody, why bother reading it, right? Uh, Especially if it's like a nonfiction book. You want to get them hooked. You want it to be like, think of a movie trailer. Like, oh, this looks really good. I can't wait to see it. So there are, don't be expected, even if you're an awesome writer, don't be expected to, or don't think that you can write an amazing book description. That because it's not the same type of writing. It's very much marketing and less writing if you're a fictional author or even a non-fictional author. So leave it to the pros. Also, leave it to AI. AI could do an amazing job, but AI, there's special prompting that's involved that's a little bit beyond the scope of this video. But you can, if you work with a company like us, bookmarketing.pro, we can certainly help you and create the description for you at no charge. Just making sure that you have a really good book description. Okay, next, why most authors lose money in their books, promoting their books, selling their books, is that they usually choose pretty horrible promotions. There are so many book promotions out there, and a lot of them are, let's just say, less than effective. I think is the best way to approach this. And how do I know? Well, this is our business. Book promotion. We also do publishing, but book promotion. What I do personally, uh, I've written 13 books myself, and I manage and publish hundreds of books under our publisher name, and then plus thousands of more books under our clients' names. So our goal is to try out the promotions that look legitimate and see if they actually work. And if they don't, we don't add them to our array of promotions. If they do work out, and they don't always work out for everybody, but if they're the kind of promotion that does well for a good number of people, authors, then we keep it as a promotion that we offer our clients. So you can go with a company like us who has kind of like these true and tested promotions, or you can just do some research on the internet and you'll find some like different lists that are not sponsored by a company that offers a promotion that tell you what are some of the best promotions out there. One of my favorite is Bargain Booksy and Free Booksy promotions. Those have a really good reputation. We use those at BookMarketing.pro. We offer those to our clients, uh, but you could also go directly to them, and that's a really good start for a book promotion. So most authors usually pick a bad promotion. That's why they never do well. Next, there's not a big enough market for the book that the author has written. This is a big one because it's not directly related to the quality of the book. And there's a lot of crossover, but a lot of misconception with that as well. If your book doesn't sell well and you really do your best to market it and you have great promotions, good promotion company, and it's just not quite catching on, it doesn't mean that your book is bad. If you get a lot of ratings that are below 3 stars, 3 stars or below, then maybe it is bad. But for the most part, it's just not marketable. And what that means is you're going after a niche that's already too crowded. There are too many authors providing books in that niche, and your book is just white noise. It's difficult to get it to stand out. Usually, if you're a nonfiction author and you have like a very a high reputation, a very well-known name in the industry, then you have an advantage. But if you're pretty much a nobody in that field, then the chances are very slim that your book will do well in a crowded field. There also may not be a big enough demand for your book. Maybe you're writing about a topic that very few people actually are interested in, and it's incredibly interesting to you, and that's great, and you loved writing it, and that's great. Just don't plan to make a lot of money on it. When you write a book as an author, you're either, I shouldn't say it's an either or thing. It's not really binary. You could certainly do both, but some authors are all the way at one end of the spectrum where it's all about the joy of writing it. They really have a message inside that they want to get out. They don't care who reads it. Of course, they want people to read it, but if if very few people read it, they're fine. They're still happy they did it. And then on the other end of this spectrum, there are people who just want to write books to make money. It's all about a business opportunity. So they're just looking for like the niches that are the best, and that's a completely different story. That's where it gets really difficult because the book marketing and or the book industry, the self-publishing industry, isn't really the most profitable industry to enter if you're in it strictly for the money. So I would caution you against being way up there. In other words, try to find something that you really enjoy writing as well. And the next reason, the last reason I want to touch on is I sort of already did. The book is just not very good. And this is a tough one to face because everybody thinks their book is great, of course. Um, in addition to that, they usually will send their book out to family and friends. And guess what? Your family and friends love your book. Of course they do. Why wouldn't they? Don't send your book to your family and friends if you're looking for a very honest review for your book because you're not going to get it. And I know maybe your friends and family say that we'll give you an honest review. Maybe you've got some people like maybe my brother and sister like you have that are brutally honest, and that's okay. But for the most part, family and friends are not the best sounding boards for the quality of your work. Use a promotion service that sends your book out to a whole bunch of different readers that will read it and review it and give you an honest review. They're not paid for the review. They get a free book in exchange for a review. That's usually the way these review services work, the legitimate ones. We offer those at BookMarketing.pro as well. And that's a really good way to see how the market's responding to your book if the quality is good. So if you think about those 5 points, the cover, make sure you have a good cover, make sure the description is good, make sure you pick the right book promotion, make sure that the market is good enough for your book. There's actually a market for it, and the book is good quality. Then you are going to be way above the 95% that fail at making money or at having a successful book. You might not be in the 5% that do, but you're going to be close to that. And that's a really good start.